Do you like aliens, UFOs, cryptids, and the supernatural?
What about self-defecating humor?
Actually, it's self-deprecating humor.
Well, you may both be right. Alien Theorist Theorizing is a comedy podcast that examines cases like
Roswell, Bigfoot, Dyatlov Pass, or the Atacama alien.
Was that little pickle baby that was found at Chili's?
It was alien remains found in Chile. We also explore the minds of some of the UFO community's best.
We talk crop circles with Freddie Silva.
and we explore the current state of UFO disclosure.
With my man, Richard Dolan.
If any of these topics pique your interest, grab a beer and come hang out and theorize with some not-so-sober, like-minded weirdos.
As we wade through the BS and get inspired by the possibilities.
New episodes every Friday. Subscribe to Alien Theorist Theorizing free anywhere you find podcasts or go to alientheorists.com.
I got stuff for you.
Holy moly. I need to get some snakes and release them around my house.
But they love eating people. They love eating kids.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
Every day that you open your mouth,
I know, right?
I'm more convinced that you're abducted by aliens.
No.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
These are idiots.
I was laughing reading this because I already knew how you would feel.
Idiot. What part of the story fits your balloon?
Well,
This isn't a UFO. But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Well, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
Well, everyone, I think we know exactly what it is. So say it all with me. It was the sandhill crane.
Would you try it?
No.
You wouldn't eat it?
No.
Why?
Because they're probably toxic. There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. I've seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree. Now, we just got back from the Cry Pig Festival.
Squonkapalooza Part 2.
I am the great and powerful mystery.
And I'm J Clone 41.
Meep, 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 meep.
Bop.
No, so Squonkapalooza Part 2. What do you think?
Oh, it was great.
We're going to do about a half-hour review on it.
Yeah, I had a squonking time. We saw the Squonky Tonk Man. He's a Squonky Tonk Man.
Some of the
He's
costumes
a
are
Squonky
great.
Tonk Man. Squonky Tonk Man. He's cool. He's
came
cocky.
and watched our presentation.
He's sad. He did. He watched it. The Squonky Tonk Man was in the house to watch us live.
And he liked it. He came up and told me he liked it.
Well, that was nice.
Well, I'm assuming. I mean, it's free, too. I mean, they pay us to be there, but it's free for the public to come watch, which is a neat thing to do.
Right, yeah.
No, so how do you want to start this? Like, let's start with, I guess, getting in there. I got a different Airbnb this time.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah, I'll say that with Johnstown, which is Johnstown's PA.
Johnstown, PA, Squonkapalooza.
The Airbnbs there have been great. You know, been pretty good price for Airbnbs.
I mean, we're 2 for 2 so far.
I mean, just even looking at, like, online and stuff, we had a lot of friends that stayed in Airbnbs, like,
Yeah.
well, Mark and stuff, like, he was in Airbnb, and, like, no, so it's nice to have that as a resource.
Uh-huh.
Because there's only a couple hotels, and for the festival, they fill up really quick, which is awesome. You know, good for the festival.
Right, good for the local community.
And
good, yeah.
I like staying near it, but I also like the Airbnbs near it. Our Airbnb was, do you remember what it was called?
No.
The Toga?
No, Tioga.
Tioga,
Yeah.
which is a river there in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Market. So below us was these guys that own the Airbnb are trying to save a bunch of the historic locations and
Yeah, the historic
their,
businesses.
their neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they put Airbnbs above them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pay the rent, pay the electricity, whatever. So below us was the Tioga
Yeah, Tioga Street Market is what it used to be.
Tioga Street Market. And they had pictures in the little history book about it.
Yeah, it was like
which is neat. You can tell they cared.
Trying to think what year maybe that was in operation.
1876.
Through.
I think the 50s.
Okay.
When the flood happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which they weren't affected by the flood up there, but
Right.
I mean,
But still,
that hurt the community.
The whole
enough.
community is going to take a blow.
But they turned it into I would guess you would call it a bar. Not really a bar, kind of like a sit down, hang out, just and come
Yeah.
and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It looked like we never got to go in because with the hours they were running stuff like that,
But you could see
they had
through the
t-shirts
windows
and that kind of stuff. But it was mostly just areas to come in and hang out around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think they probably, I'm going to guess they had 2 types of beer and maybe 2 types of liquor.
Maybe.
But
that's all
they
you
were
needed.
enjoying themselves. Like, it was just, it looked like a cool little thing they had saved, and that's what they were using it for.
A spot to hang out.
Yeah, it was cool. Then we hung out with Buddy Scott.
Oh, yeah, Scott.
Which we can't talk about all the stuff we did with Scott, but it was all fun.
It was fantastic. He took us through a tour of his backyard, National Forest. Forbes State Forest, sorry.
I said national several times this week.
I keep screwing up, too. But, yeah, he took us through the state forest in his backyard, and it was awesome.
We went Bigfooting.
We went Bigfoot, and that was fun.
Yelling for Bigfoot.
That.
Yeah. There you go, Scott.
Yeah.
No, it's just so much fun. Scott and his whole family we got to meet and everything like that.
Yeah.
Long time listener to the show. Great friend. Like, awesome. Scott, I'm calling you out, though. I need my bear hat for ice fishing season.
Uh-oh.
Go get me a bear.
And see what you've done. You've created a monster.
Yeah, see, he's hoping I wouldn't remember.
No, you remember everything when it comes to bear hats.
When it comes to bear hats.
Yeah.
No, he's got an awesome hat. But anyways, moving on from that, the Airbnb was awesome. Oh, the Cryptid Trivia.
Yeah.
Last Friday night. First off, Lisa and Joe, Cryptoteology, and Cryptid Comfort / Cryptid Crate. Mm-hmm. Awesome people. They run the festival.
Yes.
Them and their crew that helped put it on. Great people. Thank you guys for letting us be involved. We look forward to continued involvement. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So anyways, they did Cryptid Trivia.
Friday night before Squonkapalooza.
Friday night. So Johnstown's like this town that had a horrific flood in the 50s. No money for several decades.
Right.
And is like making the turn back.
It's trying to come back.
Yeah, which is awesome. Because, I mean, I lived in the coal belt, or the coal belt of the mountains for 2 years.
Yeah.
And that killed every city, every town. So it's nice to see a steel town kind of trying to bounce back. And they're awesome. So we went to the Sweet Spot.
Yes. That was the name of the little restaurant, the hamburger joint. It was great.
The hamburgers,
milkshakes.
I didn't eat one. We got milkshakes. I didn't eat a hamburger, but everybody around us that was eating one said they were absolutely fantastic.
The food looked really good.
And then so we did the trivia. It was so much fun. I had to stop putting my hand up.
Jerk.
I gave my prizes, most of them away.
There was kids there, and you're swiping, answering questions. I've never seen a hand raised so fast.
Well, when Lisa never finished the Chupacabra question, I said 95.
Yeah, that's when you turned around and looked at me and you said, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, what's the answer?" 95. She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I only do this for a living,
Right, yeah. Cheater.
No, but it was awesome. It was so much fun. Look up the boys' page. I can't remember the name.
Gotcha.
Katowski brothers.
Yep, I got their sticker. Oh, I left my book in the car.
It's okay.
But I have their sticker.
Yeah, but
that's
they're
going on
Facebook
the bus
and stuff like that. Well, you'll see them in the bus review. These 2 young men that are doing a cryptid, YouTube page over there all weekend, hanging out with their parents. Great kids. I look forward to seeing more from them. I'll post their stuff on the Facebook group. So Cryptid Trivia. Then we went to the local, a brewery, with Ryan and his wife, Katie. Which, she gave us 3 different names all weekend.
Right, I know.
But no, we had a lot of fun with them. But the local brewery was nice, too. It was they had the Squonk. They had some Squonk canned drink.
Yeah, it's the seltzer. They had Squonk tears, seltzer.
That's why I couldn't try it. Now I remember, right? That's why, because I can't drink seltzer.
It's a seltzer drink. And Ryan brought us a first round of beers.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
For the weekend. He started the weekend off right.
He did.
Yeah, it was.
And then we drank fortified water.
Fortified water. That's right. Allegheny mountain water is what they call it.
So rock and roll on Friday. We were Saturday, first speakers festival. I mean, it's a pretty big festival. It's up there with some of the bigger ones we do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to guess. I mean, it's impossible to know numbers for these kind of ones where it's all free. And it's in a park and, people can come and go. I'm going to guess they did 5,000 people, give or take a little more, a little less, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Some of our buddies said they sold great, and that's kind of what you kind of look at for vendors. They can kind of give you a better number of we know if we go to a 10,000 person show, this is about the number we sell.
Right. Yeah.
And so you kind of roughly
based
off
that.
of that.
Yeah.
And a couple of our buddies said they sold extremely well.
Good.
Which is which is good for everybody. But it was never slow, like till the very end. It kind of slowed down in the last hour, like all festivals do.
Oh yeah, you're there all day.
Yeah. But we were first speakers. The theater is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of those old ones. They're trying to save.
Mm-hmm. It's all volunteer ran.
Yeah,
So they're trying to save the theater. The architecture, the theater itself is beautiful.
Yeah, it's that old like 1800s.
Yeah,
like, crown. Like, I don't know if it's crown molding, but
I bet back in the day when it was first hustling and bustling. I mean, that would have been a fancy.
Gorgeous. The worst stairs to ever fall down in your life because you will die.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's granite slabs.
Yeah,
stairs.
hard. Yeah, it's long stairs.
Hard. Wood doesn't have a lot to give.
No, but
more than granite.
Granite, yeah. Oh yeah, I bashed my shins on a few sets of stairs. Those ones would not feel good on the shins.
No, but theater's awesome. We volunteered to kind of help run the
tech side of it
because they didn't have a person at the theater that did it, but they were fine.
And we Ron Murphy was their author. He was sitting beside us, and his son actually did our slideshow work for us. He was our clicker, and I had a magic marker pretending to I was using it as a clicker, and he was just.
Well, you convinced the poor lady that worked there
that it was.
We have a clicker.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, Jay, stop it.
It's an illusion.
She's all excited. Like, stop it.
No, it's a permanent marker.
No. So that was awesome. Ron's always great. Mark and Ron, we sat next to, as far as the speakers all day, we sat next to Ron's family is amazing. He'll be on the show here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And Mark, you've heard on the show several times.
Mark Muncie, that is.
Mark Muncie, yeah. Both great people. Ron brought his whole family. His kids were awesome.
Oh, yeah. Very helpful. Very helpful.
And I mother henned them, or I'm like, oh, there's so much food and pop and water in this cooler. Like, don't buy stuff, guys.
Right, yeah. You just got it right here.
And I was worried they weren't going to do it. Then I looked over, and his daughter Willow had a Pepsi, and they were all eating goodies. And I'm like, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Eat.
No, so that was great. The vendor selection is awesome. Like, if you just want to, like, it's definitely, like, well, Joe and Lisa are both, high-end vendors for this stuff. So you get a lot of their friends come out for it.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of our buddies, which you'll see on the Instagram post, we're shouting all of them out. They made everybody wear the corn hat.
Oh, yeah. The corn hat got around at Squonkapalooza. And if you guys don't already, if you're listening, you don't already follow our Facebook page, and you can get on there and see all the photos that were posted, not just by us, by
they had
the photographers. They're all shared on our Facebook page. So check out, just to see the energy of what Squonkapalooza was like. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, good energy, a lot of good people there.
What else, Jay?
Like as far as people or experiences, I mean, our talk went well. I thought we had a good participation during our presentation.
Yeah, anybody that's never been to one of our live shows or our presentations at a festival or something, we try to structure them around about, if we get an hour, we try to structure them around the half hour, 40 minutes for the presentation, and then leave the rest of the time
for you guys
for questions, because that's it's my favorite part, at least.
Usually I'm the only one answering questions during the show, so
yeah,
when other people get to do it.
No, so it's awesome, and it's great questions again.
Asking questions, not answering. I don't answer hardly any questions.
But great questions again, and like 99% of the time, it's about nothing to do with the presentation we just did.
Right.
Which is awesome, because it's still good questions.
Yeah.
People have interesting thoughts they want answered.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Ranted about eDNA for a while, and that's always
fun. But it's good to explain. It needs to be explained more. So I think anytime it's brought up, it's a good thing.
My biggest fear is always that, and we have never had this happen.
Okay.
But the presentation before or after us will have eDNA and not have it explained right.
Oh, yeah.
And then if it's after, it's worse for them.
Yes. Yes.
Because some people, it's a very complicated science. I did it as a living for collecting it and stuff like that.
Unless you're doing it and
it's hard to explain to somebody.
Yeah.
And so if you're paying to have it done, is a whole different thing.
Right.
Where you may not even know what's going on with your...
On the other side of it, behind the curtain.
Yeah. So Ron spoke. Ron's presentation was awesome. I illegally stole it.
That's right. We have access to it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, if Ron's listening, which I doubt it, but if he is, we're going to start changing out the pictures.
Right, yeah.
No, he's super awesome. let's see what else. Who else? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we had fun. The whole festival itself. We didn't do any of the judgings this year with like we did at Hawken Hills the week prior, but we didn't have any I guess hands-on stuff when it came to the festival this time. But who knows? That could change in the future.
No, but we enjoyed walking around a lot.
I was overall walking around. You got to more than me this year, which is probably a good thing. But seeing Jeff from Star Cruiser Studios was awesome.
I had to talk a lot of business with a lot of people too.
Right, yeah. Well, it was a successful weekend, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But Jeff sold out of all of his Pennsylvania cryptid map
Did he?
prints. Yep. So we were going to get one. And
we have one.
Oh, we got the Pennsylvania one?
Yes.
Oh, you gave it to us early, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. I was going to look at them, but they were already sold out by the time I got over there.
Yeah. We got it. I don't remember when we got it, but...
we stole Sherwin's hat again.
Oh, his brother didn't know the joke.
What?
About stealing his hat, because I was looking for it.
Oh.
Well, he didn't know me.
Okay.
Because it was the brother we hadn't met before.
Oh, yes.
And so I'm looking for Sherwin's hat, and he's like, oh, no, we know Sherwin, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah.
I showed him pictures of us wearing his hat. And stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
It's a thing.
And then he was fine, but at first he's like...
No, that's a sacred item.
Because I thought it was Chester. Because I'm like, oh, it's Chester or whatever, Chester knows what we do.
Right, yeah. Sherwin Sketches. Check him out.
Oh, Sherwin's great. He'll be at the Ohio Bigfoot
Jamboree, October 5th. Sherwin. Check out Sherwin's booth with some of the greatest cryptid drawings you'll ever see.
There you go. They do all kinds of the fun stuff at the gazebo, whether it's like, they did like the hula hoop contest with the squonk. Mm-hmm. They did all kinds of that kind of stuff.
Fun stuff.
Well, I mean, what was like the Squonk? What is it? Squonk Quest.
Oh yeah, we were participants in that.
Where you got to do a task at all these random booths. You got to find the blue squonk deer, and then you get tickets into the prizes. Yeah,
that was. I mean, what was ours? We were having people doing
the best squonk call.
Call.
If you're gonna go out and go hunt the squonk, what's the noise you're gonna make
to bring them in?
What was yours?
My favorite one. Or just my one I did.
Well, either or.
Oh, my personal one was always defaulted to. Sounds like a crying pig.
Cry pig.
My favorite one, I asked that to a guy. You weren't there, though, doing the hunt. You weren't there, so he asked, what do I do for this? I said, you're out in the woods, and you're trying to lure in a squonk. What's the call you'll do to lure in the squonk? And this guy sitting there, like, you could see him thinking about it. Then finally, took a big deep breath, and he just goes, "Come on over here, squonk. Just come on. You're a good boy. You're a good boy." And I was not expecting that. I'm like, all right, that I approve. That's a good one. You're not so bad. You're not so bad, little squonk.
Oh my gosh.
David Hardy was there.
Oh, Hardy wear. David Hardy cryptid t-shirts.
Yeah, he was double boothing it.
Yeah, I mean, him and his two sons were just working like maniacs.
Well, yeah, and he had an adjacent booth simultaneously running with Steel City Con, which is going on the same weekend.
Oh my gosh.
So David was killing it this weekend.
And he has all that energy.
Oh, it's nonstop.
I want whatever coffee he has.
Yeah, at 7 a.m. he shook my hand harder than I don't know.
Wild Bill.
Than Wild Bill, not saying
David's
something.
a dear friend. David and his family are dear friends of ours. And they got great t-shirts. I'm literally wearing the Nessie one right now as recording this.
Oh, David's artwork is amazing.
He gave me a couple, but I think I got 4 t-shirts off him this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Because he's gotten some new ones since we've seen him in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I rather buy him in person. That way there's no charges and nothing like that.
Right. No, the hidden fees.
He gets all the money.
Yeah, and you get to see it, the product too. You can feel it and touch it. I know.
But no, so awesome t-shirts. His new Squonk one's awesome as well. The yellow and black is a cool looking look.
It's pretty sick.
What else? You can start naming people.
Oh, Whitney was there.
Whitney Yondu.
You sure?
What's Whitney's last name?
I think Yadon.
But I always say Yondu.
Yeah.
She's never once corrected me though.
No, I don't think she's too nice to do that. Team Fanny Pack.
Huh? Whitney's Team Fanny Pack.
Team Fanny Pack. Or I call it my tool belt.
Your tool belt.
My satchel of things.
So Whitney's awesome. Bally
Raven.
We've known her family since the first Crypticon we ever did.
Yeah.
Her mom came up, was asking me about the babies and all that stuff.
Sitting right across from us, Bally Raven at the first Crypticon.
Clyde.
Cryptid Clyde.
You'll see these posts of these guys on Instagram. I'm gonna do like every vendor that wore the hat. I'm gonna do like a little vendor shout out on our page for them and connect their Instagram to it.
Sweet. Okay.
We're not huge or nothing like that, but that'll just anything. They're our friends and they got good stuff.
Right.
They literally bought stuff off of these guys forever.
Which thank you.
We were gonna get pictures of Joe and Lisa in the hat, but they were
busy.
nonstop. I went over to talk to Joe, and he was literally being interviewed by, I think, the news.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, you know what? I'll leave him be.
Maybe another time.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
But you already said Jeff Collins.
Who is the
Joe? John, sorry.
There was a listener that came up to you that was a biologist, and you guys shared a moment.
Oh, gosh. You're right. Because she has family in Columbus.
I'm trying to remember her name. I can't remember her name for sure.
So she's an anthropologist. She said I was her spirit animal.
That's what it was. So Justin, yes.
But she should be coming on the show. She's supposed to reach back out to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so Mr. E met his... Well,
she
met her spirit animal, which is
and
Mr.
her husband's
E.
like, you can't have a spirit animal as a person. And I'm like...
Well, why not?
Yeah, I'm like, I am.
I am an animal.
I'll have to send her some T-shirts.
Right, yeah. That's great. Now, that cracked me up because we talked to them at the bar after the fact.
Yeah, she's done all kinds of stuff with, like I said, she's an anthropologist.
Yeah.
Cannibalism and death rituals is what she specialized in.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, we don't have to get into all that.
That's what she's coming on the show about.
Oh, wonderful. So
it's interesting.
We're going to save that. Yeah. Interesting. Well, most cannibalism, I guess, is interesting to its own right.
Well, yeah, because it's odd for most of the population.
Right.
And like
taboo.
I know some of there's two main types of cannibalism where it's ritualistic cannibalism and nutrient-driven cannibalism. So I know, and I'm not speaking from super knowledge, but I know in some of the rainforest communities, cannibalism is a necessity from people that die of natural causes because there's so little calories available at some parts of the year.
Okay.
Like they have to eat everything they can get.
Interesting. Like prions, calories.
Well, I mean, that will happen.
Right.
I mean,
just don't eat the brain. Don't eat the brain.
Don't eat the brain.
Eat a calf. A cheek.
You technically get it from anything, but brains are where you get the most of them.
Oh, okay. Well,
like anybody doesn't know what he's talking about. Prion diseases come from cannibalism, and it turns you into like zombies, literally.
It's bad.
It's really bad for any species.
I imagine humans would be the worst.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in the middle of the Amazon, you really can't venture out to other populations.
I suppose.
A jaguar will take care of you before.
I suppose. I don't know.
Especially if you're acting really erratic.
Right, yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh, I don't want to know.
Now, so what else?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to relive the weekend through my head.
The after party was a lot of fun. It felt like a hometown bar.
Yeah.
But literally was like, the cryptid comedy they did.
We had cryptid comedy. So we had a lot of cryptid friends doing stand-up, including, their host was, it was a roast. They did a roast.
Of the Squonk, but it was a cryptid comedy show.
Right. Cryptid comedy show, but yeah, it was all, if you can imagine, a
there
roast.
There are a bunch of buddies out of Philly that all do this as like, they don't do it for a job or nothing like that. They just do it to do it.
For fun, yeah.
They enjoy it.
So the roast host was the ghost of Don Rickles.
I remember I tried to talk to him like 4 times.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't talk. The rest of them were super friendly.
He was focused, I guess. I mean, when you're turning into the ghost.
I kind of thought it was because I think he has really bad social anxiety.
Oh, that's why he wears the ghost.
Beard, get himself built up to do this.
Yeah.
So talking to me was not like
part of the routine. Yeah. Or as you called him all night, the ghost of Don Wrinkles.
Yeah. So
that's just funny to me. I kept correcting you. Wrinkles. Wrinkles.
I couldn't hear.
I know.
There's 50 people in a bar that's supposed to seat 12.
It's just funny. It was Bigfoot doing the roast, the Squonk, the Mothman.
Squonk was in Jersey Devil.
And Jersey Devil and the Jackalope.
Squonk was the best.
Yeah.
I didn't like Bigfoot.
Oh, too much energy.
Like too much, I don't know. I didn't like the guy really.
The man behind the Bigfoot.
Because everybody else put a lot of work on their costumes, and he just had a Chewbacca
onesie.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not Chewbacca, it's Bigfoot.
As it's clearly Chewbacca.
I know. That's why I said Chewy.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. That was funny. I mean,
It was awesome.
And we had, I'll tell the story so you don't, because you're too mean when you tell it. You'll find out what I'm
The old man?
Yeah, yes.
I don't think I'm too mean. I watched the whole thing.
I did too. So there was this one local in the bar. So, okay, imagine you're coming into this for the after party.
This is Appalachia.
You're scheduled.
This is a bar that normally fits 12 people. Like, I'm going to say it probably could seat 30.
Yeah, max.
The whole, like, with the bar full and all the tables full.
Maxed out 30s.
And there's probably, in the highlight of it, 60, 65 people in here.
There was a lot.
Maybe more.
We were packed in, not quite shoulder to shoulder, but almost.
Because the whole front porch was full of two.
Yeah. And so this was
maybe 80 people. I don't know.
Maybe.
Somewhere in there.
But so this was the scheduled after party show, and where we were all supposed to come hang out after the event. And so when we got in there, seating's very limited. But there was we found out later that bar, I guess on a normal day, like the local, it's just locals, obviously.
Yeah.
There's probably 5 or 6, 7, maybe max 10 people there. That's
all night.
That's their normal flow.
Yeah.
So now you get all these cryptid dressed up weirdos and just nerds and
you
dorks
guys, everybody listening knows the crowd.
Yes, all of us.
Yeah.
Us.
I mean, I have had crazy hair, but blue hair people and
all of us
wearing
people.
Antlers.
Oh yeah, just the weird of the weird.
Yeah.
And we all show up and pack this little bar that reminds me of home.
It was really like being an elder. It was what it reminded me of.
Just like being at home, which is fantastic. So we felt like
we were talking to the lady. She was super. The bartender was super nice.
Yeah.
The cooks were super nice.
But I'm looking
they were
around.
a little overwhelmed.
For
she
sure.
kept apologizing, and we're like,
sure. No, we're used to this.
It's fine.
We get it. We know.
Don't worry. There's 100 people in here.
Yeah, just do your best.
Give me 4 beers right now, and we'll talk about food later.
Just bring me double everything, and you're fine. But there was this one older gentleman sitting at the bar that clearly was a frequent local. That was his spot. He was always there. And now all these weirdos show up and just surround him. I think he was befuddled. He
was angry.
He looked angry.
Because he was angry.
My theory is he looked angry because there was all this excitement, new stuff going on in his local bar. He didn't want it there, and he didn't really enjoy that was the crowd that got brought in. I'm sure he would prefer a crowd full of just locals like him. But it was all these weirdos. And when the stand-up was going on, I primarily just watched him and focused on his reactions. He didn't like it. He didn't like any of it. In fact, I
was saying, this sucks. You suck.
And just mouthing it out, just mouthing it to himself, to the bartender. Not so anyone could hear it, but I was watching him and I could hear it, and it was just the funniest thing ever. But so that was just funny on top of funny, watching him and react and stuff, just getting used to feeling out this crowd and the whole time. But after a couple hours, as most of the crowd finally died down, it was just half locals, half us weirdos. You see his attitude start to change. He actually stood up, and when he left the bar that night, he was smiling and laughing and saying goodbye to the bartenders.
That scared me.
Yeah, and I was like, "Whoa, full change."
Well, it scared me because I thought he snapped, and I thought he was going to his car to get something.
Yeah, no, he's just finally got enough of the booze in him.
You missed it. You missed the funny stuff though, when he kept going "What the f" under his breath, looking around.
Yes,
there was a gay guy came up beside him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the best part.
There was a gay guy, blue hair, neon blue hair.
Do the impression too. You nailed it.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
Well, he's very flamboyant sounding. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Very flamboyant. He asked the bartender. Keep in mind, this bar is tiny. They have 8 types of beer, and it's beer.
Just plain beer.
And he's like, "Do you have any double IPAs?"
So funny in that guy's face.
He just looked like he had seen
a ghost,
a demon.
Yeah.
And the bartender was trying not to be mean, and she's just like, "I'll check for you, honey."
Which meant no.
And then she came back. She's like, "The closest thing I got to an Indian double IPA is an Angry Orchard."
Yeah, that's what she said.
And he's like, "I'll just take 2 of those." Yeah. And everybody was so nice, but it was just funny that
that situation right beside the old guy, right beside him.
You could tell this guy had probably never seen a gay person in his life.
I know. It's so fun. And he had the
neon blue hair.
Yeah, the blue hair, just the costumes, because everyone was wearing a costume.
Yeah.
So he was wearing some not costume, but not normal clothes, as none of us were wearing normal clothes.
I mean, I normally am in there with a freaking corn hat.
Right, yeah.
Or a big mushroom hat or something like
cape or something.
My cape.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. That part...
That was fun. Joe and Lisa and the whole crew do a good job of like planning the extra stuff. And getting places that was a lot of fun. We played cards with
Sherwin and
I kept calling them Youngstown.
Springfield. You kept calling them Springfield. It's like one of our
new friends from that area.
Yeah, from Springfield, Ohio.
He was out there hanging out with
Ryan.
He worked with Ryan, I think. At some point, and Ryan's wife, and we were playing,
Katie.
and then. Sherwin, we were playing Lumberjacks and Sasquatch was what it was called.
I think that's the name of it. I'll look it up real fast, but it was.
And Sherwin kept changing the rules just to screw me.
I mean, he introduced us to the game, so fair enough. It's his game.
But I kept being like, when the other guy had this item, that's not what the rules were. But now I have this item. I'm just saying, it's interesting how the rules change several times.
Oh, it's called Flapjacks and Sasquatches.
That's what it's called.
Flapjacks and Sasquatches.
Fun game. Everybody suggest it.
Yeah, it is. It's a very fun game. Highly suggest it. Thank you, Sherwin, for introducing it to us, and I had a blast playing it.
Did I tell you about our tab at the bar? I paid for Friday night or Saturday night.
Yes, you did.
Well, that's a funny story. The lady was so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, honey, I keep mine. I've been drinking for a while. She's like, honey, the other lady gave out your tab to somebody else. I don't know what you guys had. Can you kind of just tell me what you had? I'm like, yeah, let's figure it out. I'm like, I don't know how many beers I had, but I think it was around 8. Does that sound right to you? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I know I ate like the chicken tenders, the mott sticks, and something else, like another $3 item.
Ravioli.
She's like, okay. And I'm like, I said, whatever the Chinese tacos were. It's because everybody kept calling them.
Wonton tacos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was right. Yeah. So Chinese tacos, and she's like, what? And she said whatever the real name was.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you had 2 beers.
That was it. Yeah.
So I think it was 99% correct.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like everything.
Yeah. She's like, yeah. Thank you for doing that. I'm like, I'm trying to be honest, but with how many? Because other people were grabbing them for me,
right?
And I was getting 2 or 3 at a time because they were so busy when I'd go up. I just was like, well, just give me 3 of them. So you're gonna deal with me for a while.
It was fun. The bar was called Fetz F-E-T's
Pub.
Fetz Pub. F-E-T-Z. Fetz. Not like Boba Fett. That's what I kept calling it. Spelled different. F-E-T-Z.
A unique menu.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was good. It was just a unique menu.
If you're ever in Johnstown, stop in at Fetz Pub.
There you go. All right, I think that's good. Everybody, we hope to see you at Squonkapalooza 3.
Yeah. I highly recommend it.
I have been the great and powerful Mystery.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch you next week, guys.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Thank you for listening to Cryptids the Corn podcast. Remember, the best way to support the show is share it with a friend. But if you are craving more of the J clones
and more from Mr. E,
there's always extra content on Patreon
and our paid member space on cryptidsofthecorn.com.
We'll catch you next time with more exciting, fun, and informative information. Bye.